Hello, my friend. I understand that you have volunteered to be part of our scientific study today. Is that correct? Perfect. So yes, we are going to be testing some different brushes on you and recording the results, as well as asking you some questions about each one. Is that okay? Perfect. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and start with hairbrushes. And this is the first one. So this brush right here, we are going to call brush A, or hairbrush A, okay? And just pay attention to as many things about this brush as you can, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and brush your hair, if that's okay. Alright, perfect. Good. And you can go ahead and just keep looking straight at me while I do this, okay? Good. Okay, and good. 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 Okay. So again, that was brush A. That was brush A. And we're going to go ahead and move on to brush B. This is brush B. And this one, the bristles are a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and brush your hair. Good. Good. Okay. So again, that was brush B, brush B, brush B. And our final hairbrush, this is brush C. And it's kind of similar to brush A, but as you can tell, it's much smaller. Okay, and keep looking straight at me. I'm going to go ahead and brush, brush, brush your hair. Good. 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 Okay, and again, that was brush C, brush C. Alright, so of course I have some questions to ask you about the hairbrushes, and we're going to be recording all of your results. So my first question is, which brush did you prefer overall? Okay, good choice. Which brush do you feel was the softest? The softest. Okay. Which brush do you feel went through your hair the easiest? Okay. Which brush made your favorite sound? Okay, and now I am going to need you to give me one word to describe brush A, okay? And just a reminder, this was brush A. So one word for brush A. Good, 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 good. And same thing, one word for brush B. One word for brush B. Okay, perfect. And finally, one word for brush C. One word for brush C. Okay. Perfect. Next, we are going to move on to our makeup brushes, okay? So we're going to start with this brush right here. And this one we're going to call gold, okay? The makeup brushes will go by color. So this one has a gold handle. All right. So again, just keep looking straight at me, and I'm going to go ahead. Just brushing your face. Brushing your face. Go ahead. Okay, so that was gold. Next, we have orange. Okay, and this one, as you can tell, is a little bit smaller. And go ahead and keep looking at me. Go ahead. Good. Good. Okay. Good job. Just brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. Okay. That was orange. That was orange. That was orange. Now the next one is pink. Pink, pink. This is our largest brush, and in my opinion, our softest brush. So keep looking at me and was pink. That was pink. That was pink. Alright, and our last one is kind of a twofer. This is green. This is green. But as you can see, we have one end that's an angled brush, and we have the other end that is a more conical shaped brush, kind of like a mascara wand almost, a little bit more bristly. So we're going to go ahead and start with the angled side, okay? Alright, and good. Good. Good job. Good job. Okay, and finally our last makeup brush will be this side of the green, okay? Alright, let's go. Good. Just keep looking straight at me. You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, so that again was green. It's green. Let's call this angled green, and let's call this conical green. Okay, so I have some more questions for you. Again, which one was your favorite? Pink, gold, orange, or green? Green 1 or 2? Okay, perfect. Alright, and how many of them made you tingle out of all 5? Okay, awesome. And which ones were those? Okay. Alright, which one do you think is the most expensive? Interesting, okay. Alright, which one do you think touched the most surface area on your face? Okay. And again, I am going to need one word about each of the brushes. Alright, so let's start with gold. I need one word for you to describe your experience with this gold brush. Perfect. Okay, let me write that down. And orange. One word to describe your experience with orange. Awesome. Okay, I will write that down. And pink. pink. One word to describe your experience with pink. Perfect. Okay. All right. And finally, green. We of course have angled green and conical green. So one word for your experience with the angled green, Good. And finally, one word for your experience with the conical green. Awesome. Good job. I will write that down. Okay. And next, we are going to go ahead and move on to toothbrushes. Okay? So, I have my first one right here. And this, as you can see, is a very simple, plain toothbrush. Nothing fancy about these bristles. Alright, so I am going to need you to just open up just very quickly. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and give that a quick little brush. Good. Okay. Alright, perfect. We're going to go to our next toothbrush. And this one is another manual toothbrush, but as you can see, its bristles are a little bit more fancy. They're in a circular shape to better mold to the shape of your teeth, and they have different size bristles. So we're going to call this one Manual Fancy. Alright, go ahead and open up again. Alright, and we're just very quickly going to give it a little brush. Okay. Alright, perfect. And our last toothbrush is of course an electronic toothbrush. And go ahead and open up, and we're gonna go ahead and good. Okay, perfect. That was all of the toothbrushes. So I am gonna have to, of course, ask you some questions about them. So, first question, which toothbrush do you think removed the most plaque? Okay. Which one do you think felt the best? Okay. Which one was the softest? Okay. Okay. So again, I'm gonna need one word to describe each of these brushes and your experience with them, okay? So our first toothbrush was the basic manual toothbrush, okay? The basic manual one. Could I get one word to describe your experience with that toothbrush? Okay. Okay. All right. Next, of course, was the fancy manual toothbrush, the fancy manual one. And could I get one word to describe your experience with it? Okay. All right. And finally, the electronic toothbrush. Could I please get one word on what your experience with this brush was like? Excellent. Okay. All right. And finally, how many dentists do you think recommend each brush? Perfect. All right. Moving right along. We are going to paint brushes. And we're going to get started with this one right here. This is a kind of larger paintbrush. It is used to paint larger areas of things, so not typically like portraits or paintings or anything like that, but this is used to paint houses or walls, maybe murals even. But we're gonna go ahead and test it on you and see how it makes you feel. All right, so go ahead and look straight at me. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so we'll go ahead and call this brush Brush A, okay? This is Paintbrush A. Okay, and moving on to our next one. This one is kind of an old school paintbrush with very thick bristles. All right, let's go ahead and test this out on you. Good. Just keep looking straight at me. You're doing awesome. You're doing so good. Okay. And we can call this one Brush B. Paintbrush B. And finally, we have a much smaller paintbrush. All right, keep looking straight at me. Good. Good job. Good job. Okay. So again, this was brush C. This was paintbrush C. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and ask you my questions about them. Which brush felt the best on your skin? Okay. Which one do you believe would be the best for painting? Okay. Which brush was best when used in a circular motion? And which brush was best when using a back and forth motion? A back and forth motion. Okay. All right. And finally, I'm sure you can guess what is coming next. I am going to need one word to describe your experience with paintbrush A. Paintbrush A. Okay, perfect. Okay. And next one word to describe your experience with paintbrush B. Paintbrush B. Okay. Alright. And finally, a word to describe your experience with paintbrush C. Paintbrush C. Okay, perfect. Alright. And moving on to our last category of brushes, we are going to be doing brushes that are a little bit harder, a little bit thicker bristles, and these brushes are meant for cleaning. Alright, so we have our first brush here. We'll call this brush A. And it has a bamboo handle. Alright, so ready? I'm going to go ahead and go ahead. Brushing you. Good. Good. Okay, good. And our next cleaning brush, this is brush B. And again, you can see this one also has a curved wooden handle. And see how thick those bristles are? Bristles, rather. Good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and test this on you. Ready? Good. Keep looking straight at me. You're doing great. Good. Good. Okay, perfect. And of course, I am going to be asking you some questions about them. So, which brush felt harder to the touch? Okay. Were either of them too hard? Did either of them feel like they hurt your skin at all? Okay. Which brush did you like the handle better? Okay. And finally, which brush did you overall prefer? Fascinating. Okay. Okay. Which brush do you think made contact with your forehead for longer? All right. And finally, you know what's coming next. Could you tell me one word to describe your experience with brush A? Brush A. Good. Okay, I'll take it. And finally, one word to describe your experience with brush B. Brush B. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, my friend. Well, you did an incredible job. You were an excellent test subject. We have gone through all of the brushes that we had for this experiment. Do you have any other questions for me? Any feedback? Any last things you'd like to say about any of the brushes? No? Okay, well, these were absolutely fascinating results, and you did such a good job contributing to this study. I hope to see you back here, but for now, I will say good night, my friend.